So how do you rebrand yourself on YouTube and social media without losing your current audience? In this video, I share 5 quick tips coming up. Hey, what's up? Sean here with Think Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. And on this channel, we do a lot of tech gear and camera reviews, as well as Q&A videos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Levix asks, let's say you want to completely change your content, but want to keep your audience. My situation is gaming to travel films. How should I rebrand and how should I handle the change? Thanks so much for the question. Let's jump into it. So the first tip and consideration to make is, are you going to change your brand and your content on your same YouTube channel or social platform, or are you going to start a second channel? Ultimately, starting a second channel is maybe not as big a deal. You still are doing gaming on one, and then that becomes your travel vlogging or your travel content channel, and maybe you could just let your audience know that you've started a second channel. But if you are gonna actually change your whole brand, like you're doing one thing, you're keeping it on the same channel, then here are a few additional tips. Tip number 2 is communicate the change with your current audience. Now, this is actually only relevant if you have a pretty well-established audience. If you are just getting started or you don't have a huge channel yet or a huge social platform yet, I would actually just change. I don't think you need to tell anybody. You know, looking at your channel, it seems like you're early on YouTube, so I wouldn't worry too much about needing to communicate anything. Early on in Think Media, we went in a couple different directions over the years, and I wasn't communicating the change because there really wasn't momentum yet or even like a clear community yet. So if you're early on, just change. You don't need to tell anybody. But if you are established, I think there's something about, if you want to keep your audience, beginning to communicate with them and not just changing overnight. Develop kind of a calendar of how you're going to transition potentially into the new brand, which leads me to number 3, and that is schedule a launch for your new brand. And what I mean is, put it on the calendar and think about maybe a certain week where you're gonna roll out the new channel graphics, the new channel trailer, you're gonna maybe make an announcement, you're gonna talk about it on social media, and that's probably one of the biggest ways to get the word out. What I mean is, like, you're telling Snapchat, you're telling Instagram stories, and you're having repeated messaging for like a launch week, and then you continue that maybe for a month, and that is navigating the shift to like, hey, this is what we're doing now, you know? Like, brand new travel channel, you know, you were doing gaming, now you're gonna do travel, or if you're switching from anything to anything else, you know, go big when you do clarify what your brand is and let everybody that knows you know about the new direction. But remember this, it's never the cover image of your YouTube channel or even the photos on your Instagram page that really gets you known for creating a certain kind of content and really having a clear brand or personal brand. It's always the content. And it takes time of doing repeated, consistent, quality content around a certain topic that eventually you become known as like an expert or an influencer in that space. If you know, no one's gonna think you're a travel YouTuber until you've got a body of work to be like, well, you've traveled all over and you are a travel YouTuber. So always remember that to really solidify and strengthen your brand, it's always built on consistent content. Tip number 4 is accept that you will actually probably lose some of your audience, if not a lot of your audience. And that's just the reality of making a shift. In the question you asked, you're shifting from gaming to travel vlogging. And that's a pretty big shift. And so educate your audience, let them know, decide if you're gonna do it on the same channel, launch the new brand, but don't be surprised if people aren't necessarily interested in that new thing, because the reason they subscribed to you in the first place was for a promise of a certain kind of content, and ultimately you've changed that content. One of my favorite news sources is Phil DeFranco, and I watch him pretty much every week to get my news here on YouTube. But the thing is, if like Phil DeFranco was like, hey, I'm stopping news and I'm starting travel vlogging, I'm actually guessing I wouldn't watch it. Like, I love Phil and I love his content, but if he's just stepped out of his lane, that's why I watch him. I watch him for that value. If somebody has a cooking channel and they're teaching me cooking recipes and I'm loving these videos, and then all of a sudden they start doing gameplays and these 2-hour streams of games, that would be so crazy. It's such a dramatic shift that it doesn't mean you can't build a new audience, but a lot of those people that originally subscribed, they're probably not gonna follow you to that new place if it's very different and divergent from that original brand. You know, it'd kind of be like if Taylor Swift put out like a gangster rap album, you know? I would stop listening to her all the time. Or maybe I'd actually like her more. So saying all that, some people who follow you online follow you for you, and they'll probably follow you wherever you go because they like your personality, even if you change content, you switch niches. But also consider that if you really do a dramatic rebrand into a different topic or category, that you're probably definitely gonna lose some of your audience. And then tip number 5 is plant your flag and be consistent. You know, I think it's perfectly okay, and I even encourage people to experiment on YouTube, to try different things, especially when you're early on in your channel growth. Just switch it up completely. You know, if something's not working, you can try something else. But eventually, I think it's so important that you narrow down your topic, pick a niche, and plant your flag long enough so that you can actually build momentum and get known for that topic. And actually, I interviewed Jerry from Barnacules Nerdgasm, kind of another tech channel on video influencers, and he summed it up in this clip I want to share with you right here really well.
Don't get discouraged. Things happen slow. It took me 4 years to get my first 10,000 followers, and it took me only 2 years to get the other 700 and some odd thousand. So you just need to stick with it. You need to do the grind, and don't keep reinventing yourself. Pick what you're passionate about, stick with it, and grind, grind, grind. Because I see these people constantly making changes, Your audience will never settle. You need to give people a chance to find you.
So those are just a few tips for successfully transitioning and rebranding your content, whether on social media or YouTube. And actually, if you really want more YouTube tips and you've never heard of our channel, Video Influencers, it's a project that I launched with Benji Travis, and we do weekly interviews with YouTubers. And so if you've never seen that channel, we'll link it up on the YouTube card, and I'll put a link to it in the description as well. Question of the day, what are your tips for rebranding yourself on social media and YouTube? And can you think of any examples of anybody, whether musicians or celebrities or YouTubers, that have successfully done this that maybe we could learn from? Let me know in the comment section below. And remember that some of the best tips and insights come from you, the Think Media community. So definitely connect with everybody in the comments section. So thanks for checking out this video. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. And if you want to check out that entire interview that I did with Jerry with tons of great YouTube tips, you can check that out right here. If you want to watch another Think Media video, check that out right here. Until next time, Think Media is bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.